Jordan Love, welcome to being the Green Bay Packers starting quarterback and experiencing firsthand what Aaron Rodgers experienced so often. Play well enough to win and have the defense blow it for you in the fourth quarter. Yikes. Not that it was all on the defense. Jordan Love and this offense certainly had their share of blame. We break it all down on our live show on YouTube after week 2.
You are Locked On Packers, your daily Green Bay Packers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You were Locked On Packers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Peter Bukowski, and I cover the Packers for The Leap, a newsletter I would love for you to subscribe to. Follow me on Twitter, Peter_Bukowski. Follow the podcast on Twitter, Locked On Packers. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find Locked On Packers, the #1 Packers podcast on the internet, and the show for fans who know what happened. They want to know why and how. Today's live post-game show brought to you by friends at LinkedIn.com. LinkedIn.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. LinkedIn Jobs. Go to LinkedIn.com/LockedOnNFL to post that job for free. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And in this case, it is the more things stay the same, the more things stay the same, because it's still Joe Barry. And I don't want to lay this all at the feet of Joe Barry, because the players still have to go out and do the thing. And without having the benefit of looking at the tape and going in line by line and assessing, all of the scheme, I hate to go full Matt LaFleur and just be like, well, I got to watch the tape. This is on the defense. You want to say Matt LaFleur, you want to say Jair Alexander should have had the pick 6, 4-point swing, they win the game if he makes that play? Maybe, sure. But unequivocally, this game was on the defense. You cannot give up 446 yards of offense to Desmond Ridder. You cannot let this team that only wants to run the ball 45 times for 211 yards, a 4.7 per clip average. They got, especially in the second half, whatever they wanted. Whatever they wanted. And for as good as the Packers front was in the first half, creating disruption, creating pass rush, in the second half, Arthur Smith said, you know what we're going to do? Just run the ball down their throats, and we're going to gash them. And gash them, the Falcons did. This is just more of the same. It's a 12-point fourth quarter lead. The Falcons score 13 unanswered in the fourth quarter. The Packers, on their last 3 drives, and we're going to talk about the offense, but the last 3 drives, 3 and out, 3 and out, 4 and out. And by the way, the Falcons are scoring. So you go up 24-12, you give up a touchdown. 3 plays, 2 yards on offense after that. You go down, you give up a field goal. 3 yards, or 3 plays, 5 yards. That's all they can muster because they have the false start penalty. But really, it's 3 plays, 9 yards. And that's the 3rd and 1 that you can't get with A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon, if he can't make that play, what is it you say you do here? Exactly. That is what you're there for, to be that hammer back. And he just looks toast. Just does not look good at all. And there's no reason for it. There's no excuse for it. He hasn't looked dynamic since 2021. And he was really good in 2021. Could rip off a 10 or a 12-yard run here. He can't even keep his feet. There was the earlier 3rd and 1 that they have to measure and go back and review, and he got it, but he tripped over his own feet, was originally marked short, and then on 3rd and 1, can't keep his feet and gets stopped short of the line to gain. This was, I don't want to say it was a 3-phase letdown, but the defense at the end of the game, when you have a lead, you have to do a little bit more than go 3 and out 3 straight times. I guess the last one's a 4 and out. But the defense was what happened here. in the middle of the third quarter, this looked like the Packers were going to win another rout. It's 24-12 and everyone's having fun. Packers come out in the third quarter. Jordan Love played unbelievable in the fourth quarter or the third quarter. You go down and score. You score 2 straight touchdowns. It's 24-12. And it feels like everything's going your way. And then you just can't get a stop. Just absolutely cannot get a stop. On 3rd and 3, you give up the deep pass. Darnell Savage totally misplays the ball. Was there in time. Reminded me of the play in 2021 where he just mistimed or misplayed the ball in the air. Jamar Chase, it went right through his hands to Jamar Chase. Like he's covered. Couldn't make the play. Opportunity wasted. That's a touchdown. If you get that interception, the game is essentially over. 2 years in a row now where you lose a game because Darnell Savage can't complete an interception. No, that was 2021. Still. Jair Alexander, pick 6 in his hands. Can't complete it. Packers get a field goal instead. That's a 4-point swing in a game you lose by 1. Quay Walker dropped interception. Now, the Packers come back and score a touchdown, and so it doesn't seem like it matters, but those are opportunities to just stem the tide of confidence for your offense. There's a huge difference in the way Desmond Ridder feels about his day if some of these interceptions go the other way, even if after the Jair Alexander non-pick 6, you get a field goal, even if you go out and you get a touchdown. Because Desmond Ridder can say, well, that was the defense. I didn't do that. You can compartmentalize it a little bit. 400 plus yards to this team that looked anemic for 3 quarters last week. And even once they started scoring, it was off turnovers. The Packers didn't turn the ball over, but they also couldn't stop anybody. Couldn't stop anybody, especially in the second half. 5.7 yards per play. 446 total yards. 211 on the ground. And that's even with 110 yards and penalties going the other direction for the Packers. 36 minutes time of possession. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. Now, I understand this is not the year for championship level aspirations and all that stuff, but that's supposed to be an offense problem. That's supposed to be all these young players just aren't good enough yet. And you have these flashes of promise. And by the way, the Packers have, and that's great. And we're going to talk about that in a second, but your defense was supposed to be the strength of this team. You can't blow a double-digit lead to the freaking Atlanta Falcons with Desmond Ridder. Kyle Pitts can't get a target to save his life. Drake London leads this team in receiving 6 for 67, beats Jair Alexander at the goal line on a play that they had defended pretty well. Your best players just can't play like this. You can't totally lose steam at the end of the first half. They played their guts out in the first quarter, played really well. And then just as the game goes on, it gets worse and worse and worse. This is too much of a theme. Too much of a theme. And I don't know where to go. I don't know where this Packers team turns because, yeah, Rashawn Gary playing some more snaps would be nice. Lucas Van Ness being out there would be nice. But if you need, with all of the talent that you have out there, like this is not an Eric Stokes problem. It's not really a talent problem. Kingsley Enagbare, Justin Hollins, these are good players. Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, these are good players. Devontae Wyatt, Kenny Clark, good players. Devondre Campbell, Quay Walker, good players. I understand the safety position, not the best. But Jair Alexander can't get beat on these plays. Russell Douglas can't lose Bijan Robinson because he's trying to peek inside when your linebacker has that hook area. You let Bijan Robinson just get wide ass open down the rail, and you let Desmond Ridder play pitch and catch. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. Now, again, I get it. There's plenty to be excited about with this team, and I do want to talk about that. But we can't open the show being sunshine and rainbows when you lose a game like this. That being said, there is still plenty to be excited about with this Packers team, and we're going to talk about it next. Today's episode brought to you by our friends at LinkedIn Jobs. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on the candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality candidates versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the potential candidates you want to talk to faster. The Packers defensive coordinator job may be on LinkedIn sooner than later. Jim Leonard, are you busy, buddy? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnfl. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnfl to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And thanks to everyone who makes Locked On Packers their first listen every day. We're also here to talk about our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America. It's really simple to play. You can make your picks and submit an entry in less than 60 seconds. Just put a couple players together with numbers Prize Picks puts together. Stats like rushing yards, passing touchdowns. Jordan Love, 2 touchdowns. If you think Jordan Love is going to have more than that, boom, you put that in there. Aaron Jones rushing yards. Well, you better not have picked that one for this game because Aaron Jones didn't play. Luke Musgrave receptions. Put a couple of those together and you've got a stew going. You've got a lineup where you can make daily fantasy, where you can turn $10 into $250. We're talking about 25 times your money. Go to prizepicks.com/lockedonnfl and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for a first deposit match up to $100. You put money in, they give money to you. It's easy. It's easy. Go to prizepicks.com/lockedonnfl and use the promo code LOCKEDONNFL for that first deposit match up to $100. And thanks to everyone who makes Locked On Packers their first listen every day. We hope you like starting your day with us as much as we like starting our day with you. We're here Expert Tuesday tomorrow. Zayu doing on Wednesday. Crossover Thursday with Ross Jackson, my buddy, Locked On Saints, and then hopefully another guest. We're working on another big-time guest on Friday. We have a situation here with these young players. And I understand that it's easy to be frustrated with... Hey, Theo, thank you. Everyone say hi to my son, Theo, live stream, and he's in here. Theo, can you go be with mommy? All right, why don't you sit and watch then, pal? Can you say hi? Hi. We have a group of young players where you are just trying to get them to play good football, where you are just hoping that they show flashes of their potential, where you are going, okay, what do we have here? What is the opportunity that you have to get better? And this is, you're seeing it. You're seeing the talent. Jaden Reed comes in and he has 4 catches for 37 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's not really a catch, right? The push pass is really a run play. But we have something that you're trying to just get the glimpse. Luke Musgrave makes a couple really nice plays. I wish they would have done more with Luke Musgrave in this game. Only gets 3 targets, caught 2 of them. And one of them, like, there's going to be growing pains. He's supposed to sit down in the zone there. Jonathan Vilma, one of the few times he was all over it. He's supposed to sit down. Jordan Love expecting him to sit down. It didn't work out. You're seeing the flashes, though. Jaden Reed is a player. Dontavian Wicks, 2 big catches, 1 off a straight drop, 1 off a play action, and it's a touchdown. Catch and run. You're seeing the ability, the upside that these guys have, and that's what this season is about. That's what this season is about. It's about finding opportunities to evaluate your young players and hopefully try and win while you do it. That's what you're trying to do. That's what you're trying to do. What do you have in Luke Musgrave? What do you have in Jaden Reed? What do you have in Dontavian Wicks? How much can Romeo Doubs do for you? Romeo Doubs was open a lot in this game. And they're going to see it on film. And I thought 3 targets, like when Dontavian Wicks gets 4 targets and Jaden Reed gets 8, and your best receiver only gets 3, that's a coaching problem. That's a preparation problem. That's a game plan problem. But no David Bakhtiari. Rasheed Walker comes in, Yosh Nijman step in, and until the last drive, you don't really have any problems in protection. You just manage it. Royce Newman steps in. I have said plenty of things about Royce Newman that are not good. He is not good. They managed it. You lose Elton Jenkins. You hope it's not a long-term injury. He was quickly ruled out and then did not return to the sidelines early. We'll see what Matt LaFleur has to say. He does not usually give, many injury news after these games. Even on Monday, we probably won't know until Tuesday or even Wednesday. But on the very first play, and it's being pointed out, Cyrus pointed out in the chat, ballsy first play by Matt LaFleur. I thought Matt LaFleur did a lot of really cool things in this game. Now, there's bumps on the road. There's going to be ups and downs here. Matt LaFleur, why did you not kick it? If you're going to kick it from 51, why not kick it from 56? What's the situation there? Why? What was that? Why late in the game? Why wouldn't you just go for it on 4th and 1? What was that play call? You're trying to draw them off sides, a play that never works. And then it's like, did Josh Myers not know to snap the ball, or were they not really going to run it? Did Jordan Love hope that Josh Myers would just snap it? Because they got to look. They got to look to run the play. And on 3rd and 1, they got to look to run the play. Like the A.J. Dillon thing, speaking of young players to flash their talent, A.J. Dillon did not do it. If we're looking at the flip side of this, Rudy Ford did not cover himself in glory. I'd like to see Anthony Johnson Jr. get some opportunities. No more inactives for him. Like this safety room is just not good enough. Darnell Savage had some nice moments, but also on the decisive 4th down play on the last field goal drive, touchdown drive. I can't remember. He whiffs in the backfield. You have to put a body on Bijan, slow him down, and make him change directions. He couldn't do it. So in a season where you're trying to evaluate these guys, Jordan Love, I cannot fault Jordan Love's play in this game. Jordan Love is not the reason why the Packers lost this game. The last few drives notwithstanding, he was not set up to succeed with the play calls. And then when you're asking Dontavian Wicks and Malik Heath to win one-on-one against A.J. Terrell, it's just not going to happen. Like, that's just not going to work. I thought Jordan Love played with really good accuracy, really good poise in this game. The 24-yard run you love to see, the deep shots you love to see. I didn't love the underthrow to Romeo Doubs. He double clutched it, could have thrown it on the first time. But you also love winning this whole game. Like they really should have won this game with the way the offense played. And so those are the flashes you want to see. You want it to be more consistent, but think about what this offense can do when you have Christian Watson back, when you have Aaron Jones back, when you are playing on grass and David Bakhtiari is going to play. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. When these young players who are rookies now can be in year 2, think of what they can do next year with these players, with just a full season, with just a half season under his belt. I'm with one of the commenters here, Hoops Mega Central. I'd like to see Matt LaFleur let Jordan Love cook a little bit more. First down, some of the things that they were letting Desmond Ridder do, play action, rollouts, designed package plays. All that stuff is there. I don't want a more conservative version of the offense they ran last year. I didn't think this game was as creative as what we saw in week 1. I didn't think in a lot of ways it was as crisp, as sharp, although I thought Jordan Love played better. And we can talk about the decision. You know, the broadcast made big mention of the Romeo Doubs miss. That's a concept that they run all the time, the post and the over. The post is really there, and I'd have to go back and look at what the coverage was, But the post is really there to clear out the side. You want to take the safety with you so you have the receiver running the over to nowhere, to grass. There's no help that can come there. That's what you're trying to do. So the read is the over. Now, it would have taken a perfect throw, and Jordan Love didn't make a perfect throw. But if you're going to tell me that what he's trying to do is just lead him upfield a little bit, that's fine. He has Dobbs on a sail route late in the game, not able to set his feet and make a clean throw because of the pressure that comes at the end. If we're just talking about Jordan Love, I had very little problem with the way Jordan Love played. I thought he played well, and I thought at the end he felt like we're gonna do this. We're gonna go win, and I think the huddle believed that too. This is a tough loss on the road against an opponent that a lot of people picked to win this division, and a lot of people picked to go to the playoffs. So if that's what they are, you chalk this up to they get paid too. The offense did a lot of really good things. Almost all of the penalty yards. Yes, the Packers in this game only put up 224 yards, but 110 penalty yards. Most of those came on 2 pass interference plays where you had them beat. They had to interfere with you. And so those are big plays for this offense. They, with Christian Watson and Aaron Jones, can be so much better. So in a way, this is sort of like week 1, where you go, at least offensively, you got mostly what you wanted. And in the middle of the game, Jordan Love looked like he was like in the third quarter, you're going, okay, well, 3 straight Hall of Famers for this Packers team. That's how Jordan Love looked. That's what you want to see. Like Jordan Love through 2 weeks. This is a better 2-week stretch than we have seen some other young quarterbacks put together in their careers. Like Justin Fields has never, as a thrower, put together 2 weeks that look like this. The high level stuff, the on the run throw to Romeo Dobbs. That is high level quarterback play. An absolute dime on the run rolling to your right. The fade didn't get completed. Slot fade to Dontavian Wicks against AJ Terrell. Perfect throw. Took perfect defense to beat it. So what the Packers are looking for is these glimpses. A little bit more consistency, grow together, figure out how to win as a group. And man, there is just so much to be excited about with this team, despite the loss. All right, we're going to talk about some weirdness, the injuries, when we come back. Today's episode brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Snap into the NFL action this season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Packers covered, +1.5. I got them at +1.5. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. Weird thing happened with the line. Packers opened -1. It went to 1.5. And then when Bakhtiari was announced out and Aaron Jones was announced out, it went to 3. Packers covered. That 3 number never made sense to me. And the Packers really should have won this game. So if you're thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get on the action because, like I said, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed with just a $5 bet. Play on the spread, player props, over-unders, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. And thanks to everyone who makes Locked On Packers their first listen every day. We hope you like starting your day with us as much as we like starting our day with you. The Leap.Football, all the stuff we're doing, all the stuff we're writing about 5 days a week. Go check that out. A newsletter I would love for you to subscribe to, and Subtext. Sent the scouting report a little late on Friday. Sorry about that. But we got it out. And I think the scouting report, pretty bang on. All the stuff that we talked about in that scouting report is in there. It's true. Packers just weren't able to take as full advantage of it as maybe they should have. All right, a couple things here. The Jones injury, not concerning to me, though he's getting older, right? Back on this contract, he will turn 30. It's not great, Bob. Now, he's the heart and soul of this team. I think he's going to stay on this team. I think he'll probably take another pay cut if the Packers ask him to. And they're going to be okay there. do you have to think about another running back? If the Packers can win some of these games, if you go out and you beat the Saints next week and you beat the Lions 2 weeks from now on Thursday night on a short week when you're at home, and now we're talking about October, do you start looking at a running back? Because A.J. Dillon does not look like he's going to give you much this season, and he's going to be playing somewhere else next year, barring a huge, huge turnaround. Do you want to make a move like that? Now, Christian Watson missed a month last year, had the hamstring injury, and then got hurt a couple times. Now, 2 weeks, was getting close. But this is one of those things with fast guys. You always have to worry about these kinds of injuries. The hamstring, the groin, those are the muscles. The calf, that's where the speed comes from. This is not like groundbreaking stuff here. There was even some intimations, from people close to him that, there was a toughness issue there. I can't say for sure. I don't know. I know that he's an important part of this team, and they need that vertical threat. They need to be able to threaten teams underneath with speed and over the top with speed. You can just get him the ball on a slant and he can take it to the house. We saw it against the Eagles. That little glance post, he can house it. That speed creates problems and angles for everyone else. It just does. The David Bakhtiari one, though, guys, I don't know what's going on here. Because go back. The weird comments on the podcast about how the team is going to stink. I don't really care if they trade me. I'm just sort of like doing whatever. And all the fun trolling stuff last week, like he's flipping off Bears fans on the field. He is in no F's given mode in just a crazy way right now, not practicing. And, we'll see what the full explanation is, but the perception of what is happening right now is he just didn't play. He just didn't play. It's turf. And it's the kind of turf that Aaron Rodgers got hurt on. Is he just not going to play on turf this year? Not going to go to MetLife against the Giants and play? Not going to play in a crucial game on Thursday night on a Thanksgiving game against Detroit? Just not going to play in Minnesota in 2 divisional games that could be really important for your team? Just not going to play? Make top of market left tackle money? Just not play? Just like, I'm good. Like, I think the turf is gross. I hate the turf. I think all the games should be played on grass. Just not going to play. Huh? Now look, we don't know that that's just what happened, that he's just like, no, I couldn't go. There may be an explanation where he's just like, look, given the way that my knee is on turf, I just don't feel comfortable, or there's a much greater risk of me getting hurt. But what did Don Draper say to Peggy? That's what the money's for. Like, I support the crusade. I really do. I think football should be played on grass exclusively. We're just not going to play. And Matt LaFleur's irritation about it, the fact that when he was asked about it over the weekend or on Friday, that he was kind of non-committal about it, that he has been annoyed now about the kid gloves that the Packers are having to use on Bakhtiari. And this is going back now to last training camp. Did not seem thrilled with what happened last 2 off seasons ago, with how that was handled. And remember, in Detroit, back in 2021, played for a half on turf and decided, I can't go. I can't do this. Last year in Detroit, played for a half, decided, I can't go. I can't do this. Like, there is no future on this Packers team for that version of David Bakhtiari. The guy that just like can't play on turf. What about in a season where you have to go and you have to play 6 turf games? He just can't be out there for 6 games? Like, I understand, and Zach Cruz made this point, and this has been sort of the deal with Teron Armstead over the last few years. Like, yeah, 12, 13 games of Teron Armstead playing left tackle is better than 95% of tackles out there. Yeah, 12, 13 games of David Bakhtiari is better than 90, 95% of what you can get anywhere else. I get that. But for top of market money, when it's just, I don't want to, again, if that is the circumstance, we don't know. I don't want to trivialize it. Like if this is the knee and it's flaring up and, he actually can't play on turf, that could be the case. It's worth mentioning they do practice inside on turf, but maybe that's why he doesn't practice. If you're not going to practice and you're not going to play some of these games, what is the value proposition then? And then that raises questions. Okay, if that's just going to be the case, just let Zach Tom play left tackle, let Rasheed Walker play right tackle, because long-term, that's probably where this is going. This is something that needs to be monitored moving forward. And we will do that always here on Locked On Packers. Follow me on Twitter, Peter_Bukowski. Back tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter, Peter_Bukowski. Follow the podcast on Twitter, Locked On Packers. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find Locked On Packers. Come hang out with us live. We'll be live next week after the Saints game. Packers Saints. Get ready. Week 3. It's another week for this young talent to go try and get a win. So there's so much it's easy to get excited about and easy to be frustrated. I get it, but the sky is not falling. I promise. Back next week live on YouTube so you can stay Locked On Packers.